Throughout history, people have encountered events they could not explain. Some were eventually forgotten. Others continued to be told for centuries, because some stories, no matter how deeply they are investigated, never reveal a definite answer. The story we are about to explore is one of them. Nearly 900 years ago, in a small English village, two mysterious children appeared. What made them extraordinary was not only the strange language they spoke, nor was it the mysterious land they claimed to have come from. Everyone who saw them noticed the same thing. Their skin was completely green. This is the story of the Green Children of Woolpit. Around the middle of the 12th century, England, roughly a century had passed since the Norman conquest. The kingdom was expanding. Agriculture was flourishing. Small villages covered the English countryside. One of those villages was Woolpit, in the county of Suffolk, still standing today. It was then a quiet farming community with only a few hundred inhabitants. Its name came from the wolf pits scattered around the area. Large pits were dug into the ground to trap wild wolves. The words wolf pit gradually evolved into the name Woolpit. No one could have imagined that this small village would one day become the setting of one of the greatest mysteries of the Middle Ages. One day, during the harvest season, villagers working near one of the wolf pits discovered two children, a boy and a girl. At first glance, it was obvious that they were different. Their clothing was unlike anything the villagers had ever seen. They appeared frightened, and no one could understand a single word they said. They spoke a language completely unknown to everyone around them, but the most astonishing detail was their skin. Both children had a distinct green complexion. They were not simply pale. According to the medieval chronicles, their skin was genuinely green. The villagers did not abandon the children. Instead, they brought them to the manor of Sir Richard de Cown. The local landowner took them into his care. People tried to discover who they were. They asked where they had come from. They asked about their family. But every question received the same response, words that no one could understand. It was as though they belonged to an entirely different world. Food was placed before them: bread, meat, cheese, vegetables, fruit. Yet they refused to eat any of it. Days passed. The children grew weaker. Many feared they would not survive. Then, one day, they noticed freshly harvested broad beans. According to the story, the children rushed toward them with great excitement. They opened the pods and eagerly ate the beans inside. For a long time, broad beans became almost the only food they would accept. This curious detail would later become one of the most famous parts of the legend. Because if they truly came from another land, why did they recognize only broad beans? As the months passed, the two children met very different fates. The boy gradually became ill. His condition worsened, and before long, he died. Little else is known about him. The girl, however, survived. Over time, she learned to speak English. She adapted to ordinary food. And, according to the chronicles, something remarkable happened. The green color of her skin slowly began to disappear. Eventually, her complexion became indistinguishable from everyone else's. Now able to communicate, she was asked the question everyone wanted answered. Where did you come from? Her answer only deepened the mystery. She said they came from a place called St. Martin's Land, a land where everyone had green skin, where the sun was rarely seen, and where everything existed in a permanent twilight, neither fully day nor completely night. One day, while tending their animals, they heard the distant ringing of church bells. Curious, they followed the sound. Eventually entering a cave, they walked through the darkness for what seemed like a long time, and when they finally emerged, they found themselves in a strange field. They had arrived near Woolpit. They never found their way home again. The story quickly spread throughout the region. Years later, it was recorded by two medieval chroniclers. One was William of Newburgh. The other was Ralph of Coggeshall. What makes their accounts particularly interesting is that they agree on most of the essential details. For many researchers, this is one of the strongest arguments that the story was not entirely invented. There is, however, an important problem. Neither chronicler witnessed the event firsthand. Both men wrote about it years after it had supposedly taken place. Their accounts were based on stories told by others. In other words, what we possess today is not the testimony of eyewitnesses, but medieval chronicles written after the fact. That is precisely why the green children of Woolpit remain suspended somewhere between history and legend. So, what had really happened? For nearly 900 years, that has been the question people have tried to answer. In the early days, many believed the children had come from a supernatural place. Some even suggested that St. Martin's Land was a mysterious world beneath the earth. The endless twilight the children described was thought to be caused not by a distant sun, but by the darkness of an underground realm. The fact that they claimed to have emerged from a cave only strengthened that belief. As the centuries passed, the theories became even more extraordinary. Some claimed the children had crossed over from another dimension, a parallel world, a place unknown to mankind in modern times. Others even linked the story to extraterrestrials. Of course, there is no evidence supporting any of these ideas. They are simply interpretations that grew alongside the mystery itself. Most historians, however, favor a far more realistic explanation. The strongest theory suggests that the children were of Flemish origin during the 12th century. Large Flemish communities lived in eastern England, but they were not always welcomed. Conflicts and violence sometimes forced entire families to flee. If the two children had become separated from their parents, they may have wandered through the countryside for days. Their unfamiliar language would also explain why the villagers could not understand a single word they said. But what about their green skin? Several explanations have been proposed. The most widely accepted involves severe malnutrition. According to some medical historians, a prolonged nutritional deficiency, particularly iron deficiency, can give the skin an unusual greenish, pale appearance. The fact that the girl's complexion gradually returned to normal after she began eating a balanced diet is often cited as evidence supporting this theory. Another explanation points to possible exposure to certain plants or minerals such as copper, yet none of these theories can fully account for the descriptions found in the medieval chronicles. The writers did not simply describe the children as pale. They insisted that their skin appeared genuinely green. Perhaps the color was exaggerated over time. Perhaps eyewitnesses remembered it differently. Or perhaps something about the children truly seemed impossible to explain. We may never know. And what about St. Martin's Land? Did such a place ever exist? Despite centuries of research, no evidence of a kingdom or settlement by that name has ever been found. Some historians believe the children may simply have been trying to describe their homeland. But because of the language barrier, their words were misunderstood. If that is true, the greatest mystery of the story may have been created by nothing more than a failure to communicate. Today, Woolpit still exists, and the green children remain one of the village's most enduring symbols. Nearly 900 years have passed, yet visitors continue to travel there, drawn by a mystery that has never been fully explained. Because sometimes, what makes a story unforgettable is not the answers it provides, but the questions it leaves behind. Perhaps the green children of Woolpit were simply two lost siblings. Perhaps their tragic story slowly transformed into legend. Or perhaps history truly recorded an event that defies explanation. The only certainty is this: nearly 9 centuries later, the story of two mysterious children still captures the imagination of people around the world. And perhaps some mysteries are never meant to be solved, only remembered. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Until the next video.